Alright, welcome back to Make It Mental, everybody. This is part 2 to yesterday's video. After you're done connecting all the wires I showed you yesterday, you should end up with something like this. It's really long. Sorry, I got my phone kind of mounted permanently, so I can't really pick it up too easily and show you, but there's all of your connections, except for 2 of them, and that is your speaker wire, or speaker connection there, and your Bluetooth connection right there, that little goldish looking dot. And we will address that in a little while. So now take your biggest standoffs, which are these posts right there, and screw them in to the 4 posts right there. And there's some extra screw holes, but those mount to the cabinet. So take your inner screws and screw in your biggest post there, just like so. And then in my particular case, I'll show you this now. It says I was going through the hardware bag. It might be hard to see, but so I got 4 of those bigger ones, and I only have 3 of these smaller ones here. I got 3 of those. But they sent me 2 of these jokers. So I think whoever was pulling parts that day didn't pay too much attention to what they're sticking in a little hardware baggie. So I got 3 of these, which is fine. That'll be plenty enough. Actually, 2 will be fine. We'll just put them diagonally and we'll be -1. So I got 4 of those. So your next biggest ones we're going to put on top of the big standoffs. Okay, now it should be a little bit bigger, harder to see, but now it's got a little more length. Now you're going to have to join this to these, and there are 4 appropriately sized holes for that. You're probably going to want to turn the wire side in to the wire side in, because there's not going to be enough room if you turn it this way to mount your battery board here. Right? So I'll get that set up and you'll see the results. So that's basically, take this out of the mount. That's basically what you're going to end up with right there. You see that they shorted me one, but they gave me 2 of these little jokers that serve absolutely no function in this kit. Then with the battery board, it's just simply going to attach to there like so, using the 4 little black screws right here. So I'll get that done and I'll show you that. Alright, so now you got your smaller standoffs. I'm short 1, but we got 3 out of 4, and it really isn't going to move anyway. You're just going to tighten it down with a supplied Allen wrench. Same size Allen wrench goes here. And now you got a nice place to tuck these wires up into. And we're going to slide it into our cabinet. But first I'm going to go ahead and attach my Bluetooth to the board, and then probably stick it somewhere to a free and clear spot in this plate right here. There's a Bluetooth connection right there. Try and magnify that for you. That little goldish looking color, there's your Bluetooth connection. Zoom back out of there. And then just find a spot that's going to be out of the way of the screw holes. You can see it comes with a little adhesive. It's already got sticking tape already attached to it. Just find a spot that's not going to be in the way of any kind of screws. Alright, now you want to focus your attention on the last connector, which is your speaker connector. In case you lost your instructions or you need a better view, here it is. So you want to identify the positive. So if you follow this one, up there it's positive, and this one's negative. That's the left side, that's the right side. Alright, so the right positive comes up, and it's actually on the bottom side. So here's my wire. I've already identified which one is positive. which one is negative by simply marking it with a blue piece of tape down there. Make my life a little bit easier. And then I've attached it to the positive wire, the red wire there. And over here I've already soldered one, so there's my marker for the red wire. And then here I've soldered it, but I didn't heat shrink it, so I can show you guys what I do. I actually make a mechanical connection first, if it'll focus, and then I solder it. Fold it over and solder it. So you solder it like that. Come on. Solder it in that position. I'll fold it over to that position and then apply heat shrink. So when you're screwing in this, what I did is to try and make life easier if you ever have to take it out and service it, or maybe you want to design a whole different box. I tried to place the crossovers directly down inside the box through the large opening here. That way if you ever want to change boxes or you need to service it, it's somewhat accessible. But you're probably going to need an extension for your extension to reach down in there. Depending on what size extension you got. I had to use one for my cordless because my cordless extension down here is a little bit too short, or if I put my cordless on top of this, it just didn't quite reach in there, so I had to put a smaller extension on my cordless to get the screw started. Then I finish it with a screwdriver. Do not run the screws all the way down. Let's see if we can get you in on a better shot up there. You run the screws all the way down and they're going to poke out the back, so just leave them about an 1/8 inch away from there. And it's not going anywhere because that little plastic ring that you see in there actually expands and holds the board tight. You just want a few turns inside that MDF. If you tighten it all the way down, your screw's going to poke out the back side. Now here's your batteries. I believe these are 18650s, but they're slightly excuse me, slightly different in normal 18650s. So you look over here, you can see the positive, negative, but they look almost the same on both sides. So pay close attention to that. And then your battery board here is also marked positive and negative. Positive on this side, negative on this side, so they're going to be alternating. So pay attention to that. Now is a good time to go ahead and insert your batteries while you can see it clearly. So you should look something like that. Plus it's also, if you can't read it on the board, positive, negative, positive, so on and so forth. Just make sure you line up positive, positive. Now we're going to attempt to insert it inside the cabinet. I'll do that off camera because I need both hands and my fixed camera point of view isn't going to help you guys out at all. And go ahead and make your, after you run your wires through your crossovers and whatnot, through your little holes right there, pull them out the back side, then make your connection right there. Take your time in there. This little battery wire you see right there. It's a very tight fit in this particular case. So take your time, gently finesse it in there. It will get in there. You just have to be very patient and try and wiggle it in there. Alright, that's basically what you should look like. If you haven't finished making it your connections like that, go ahead and finish making your connections. And then what I do is I put a little tape around your connectors for your speaker leads. Remember which one's the tweeter and which one's the driver. And then go ahead and paint your box, however you're going to paint it. Attach your top and then paint it. I've already pre-sanded mine, and I've already sanded it flush with the outside edges here and here. So I'm going to attach it permanently now with some glue and some clamps. And then I'm going to let the glue dry, and then I'm going to sand it and bullnose it, and then paint it. I hope that helps you out, whoever may be needing this information.